At Integrated OS, we believe that a workplace should feel like a second home. We don't just offer jobs, we offer a place to grow, belong, and succeed. Enjoy a modern and welcoming work environment, complete with great facilities designed to keep you productive, comfortable, and inspired every day. Where work integrates with life, from career development and skill building to a supportive workplace that values balance and teamwork. Your future starts here. Be part of something different. Visit our career website and apply at Integrated OS today.
Our speaker has over 13 years of experience in transforming people and organizations. He's a certified HR professional, Lean Six Sigma Yellow Belt, and certified transformational coach.
Who has held leadership roles in Unicon, Avoitis Infracapital, Robinsons Bank, China Bank, PNB, and GCash, so designing impactful programs that empower people and organizations alike.
And please
Please
welcome
welcome Reginino
Roginino
Enrique.
Enriquez.
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah.
Hello and good
Welcome,
morning to
sir.
everyone. Thank you, Ran and Fred, no, for that very generous introduction. I hope everyone is doing well. I know it's raining in Manila, but of course, the show must go on. So that's why we're all here to learn and be did you know, no? Did you know tayong lahat? And of course, one of the things that I love to talk about is actually how to become more productive and to be able to contribute more to your current organization or in your aspiring organization. So again, my name is Coach Rogie. You can call me Coach Rogie. And if you are with us today, please say a good morning to everyone. No, we're around 650 people here trying to own their development this Friday. And of course, it's a happy Friday for everyone. So, ano kaya ang plano nyo tomorrow? No? So, sino ba magbabakasyon dyan? Sino ba magre-relax? No? So, again, it's my pleasure to be here with everyone, and thank you for taking time for this morning to be with us and to be digino, okay? At maging be more digitalino. So first of all, siguro raise your hand if you want to be digino it all. Ayan. Can you raise your hand? Ayan. Of course, I know everyone likes to know more about this, and I think some of you have been loyal audiences of integrated OS webinars for the past months already. So again, thank you po for being with us today. Of course, one thing that we won't want to happen is that hindi tayo ma-misinform, okay? Because in the age of technology right now and the internet, there is already a lot of fake news. And I hope that hindi tayo maging isa sa mga casualty ng fake news. That's why we are having this webinar to equip you with certain skills to be able to protect yourselves at the same time to be tech savvy or internet savvy or even AI savvy after this webinar. So some of the cybersecurity threats that we will also want to protect you with are as follows. So I won't actually discuss all of them, but a few I will, no, para lang makatulong sa inyo and you really help guide you on how to protect yourselves in this digital age. And one casualty already that siguro that you already heard from the news is by the Filipino star, no, si Miss Angel Aquino, na ginamit yung kanyang face, no, for a very malicious content. And we all want to protect ourselves here, no, on this particular scenario. But matanong ko lang kayo because we're talking about also how you will, 'di ba, use this in your own work or in your own school, no? Saan niyo gusto? Okay? Do you want to work hard or work smart? Can you please put in the chat box? Work hard ba or work smart? Yan. Yan, both, no? Some just work smart, okay? So tuturuan ko kayo ng both, no? Working hard as well as make working smart as well. Okay. Now, We will also introduce you to some concepts on AI. So sino pong familiar sa AI right now? Can I see a heart emoticon? Familiar with AI? You've heard about it. You're actually using it right now. Okay. So AI is actually considered an extension of ourselves. For me, and I truly believe because I'm in HR, it will not actually replace us because there are things that AI cannot do that we can do, but AI is only there to help and support us and make our lives easier, just like any technology. Okay. And I hope everyone is on board on that aspect. Okay. So for this morning, we'll cover the following. No? So at the end of this almost or less than an hour of webinar, okay, we will be able to help you into be more familiar with uh, essential tools or apps that you can actually use no, to become more productive. So what are these digital platforms that can help you become more productive at work? Number two is to apply ethical and responsible digital practices as well. Okay. And then number three is to communicate and collaborate effectively in the digital space. Marami pong tools that are available right now. Actually, sobra kayo malulunod sa dami ng available tools that you can actually maximize right now. So I'll help you pick the right tool for your current circumstances or current work right now or your fresh grad applying for work. Number four is that this is actually very critical, no? To be able to evaluate online information and to avoid misinformation. So that's something that we hope that you'll get out of this webinar. Hindi po tayo pwedeng palagi na lang makikinig or maniniwala to any information that we get from the internet, no? I just remember, no, my daughter who's very tech savvy right now, sobrang ang sobra yung belief niya in TikTok. Sabi ko, please verify that and don't believe it already, because there are things that TikTok might not accurately provide to us. And of course, since AI is actually the in thing right now, no, we need to harness these tools to help you become more productive and learn smarter. Okay. We will teach you the basics of prompting that will help you get or maximize something about AI. Okay. Ayan. So let's now start with a quick icebreaker muna. Ayan. So, since a lot of you are quite familiar already with some digital applications, what is your number one go-to app for work or study? So, you may now put that in the chat box. What is your go-to app for work and study? Ayan. So, we have Google Calendar, ChatGPT, Messenger. Okay, we still have Google, Copilot for some. Good. Quillbot. Okay. Ayan. Teams, Notion. DeepSeek, alright. Ayan, dami. LMS, Trello, Jira, Grammarly, ayan. So, since not a lot of us probably might know all of this, we will actually have a little, sharing about this later on. So, we have Blackbox AI, Perplexity, ang daming ko pa palang alam, no, na hindi alam ng iba. Okay. And meron pa ako nakita dito no? I'm curious lang, no, gumagamit daw ng Bumble, okay. Joke lang daw, sabi ni Miss Esther. Ayan, okay. Ayan. So there's actually a lot of applications that we're actually using right now. But how do we use or maximize them, no, to become DG Talino? So today, we'll be introducing you to some of these apps if you're not actually familiar with them right now. And we'll also ask, no, some of your opinions in these apps that we're actually going to be introducing in a little bit. So of course, in this digital age, we need to possess or have the digitalino mindset. What's a digitalino mindset? This is something that I actually developed, no, for this webinar, no, that is actually about six pillars. Because we want to be smart, safe, and savvy in this digital age. These six pillars will help us become smarter, become have a safe and protect us, and also be savvy in this digital age. So first, let's look at them one by one. First, in this digital age, we need to actually prioritize being productive, okay? So can you put that in the chat box? Productive. Kailangan productive po tayo, hindi lang po tayo gumagamit ng AI just for the sake of using AI. Because the result of AI is actually to become productive and be able to produce results, no, for your certain problems or any concerns. Okay? Number two is that we need to think critically. Ayan. Can you put that now? Think critically in the chat box. Yeah, let's use the chat box. Think critically. Okay? Because in this day and age, no, madaming information that binabato sa atin. But one thing that will separate us from AI is our capacity to think critically because each of us can think differently and we will use information in different ways. All right? Okay? Number two or number three is to be safe and responsible, no? Please put in the chat box, be responsible. Yan, be safe and responsible online. Yan. Siguro, kung di pa kayo naglalak ng inyong profile to protect you from any scammers or any hacking, no? In your Facebook account, please do it right now. No, lock your profile to protect you from any people getting your photos online. Okay? Because your photo online is your digital print already, and people might get it and use it, just like what happened to Miss Angel Aquino. Okay? Next is that we will use all digital tools that are available to us, no, be able to collaborate and communicate effectively. So put collaboration in the chat box. We need to collaborate. We need to use or maximize these tools to be able, because right now, sabi nga natin, no man is an island. In every team that we are part of, we need to be able to get results by collaboration and being able to cooperate and communicate effectively. And then, number five is to be adaptable to AI. No? Be adaptable to AI. So put that in the chat box. Be adaptable. Okay. With emerging tech. So if you're not aware of some of the other AIs that are available in the market right now, but I think a lot of you already know about it, no? So mamaya, so I hope that it will be a healthy conversation for every one of us. And then finally, is that we will use all these digital tools to be able to solve our problems, di ba? Ayan, solve problems. Because at the end of the day, no, these tools help us become better, to be able to solve our problems, to be able to submit our schoolwork, and to be able to perform better, no, in the workplace. Ayan. So these are the six pillars of a digitalino mindset. And sabi nga natin, it's not just, hindi lang porket alam mo na kagad yung mindset na to, ito na yun, no? Sabi nga ni Ernie Baron, no? Sino pa ba nakakaalala kay Mr. Ernie Baron? Ayan, malalaman po natin ang age ninyo. Ayan. Can you put number one if you still remember, no? Si Mr. Ernie Baron. Ayan. Ernie Baron is actually famous for, sabi niya, knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. But knowledge is not just enough. Knowing what the tool is about, but you're not able to use it responsibly. So aside from the digital talino mindset that I actually introduced to you, we need to be able to formulate the following, which is to be able to enact that mindset into certain habits. No? Yeah. We need to develop the Digitalino habit. So I'll be sharing to you four Digitalino habits that will help you become safer, become smarter and savvy in this digital age. So let's now go to number one. And again, if you are ready, no, to receive and hear about this, can I see a ready in the chat box? I think game na game po lahat, no? Thank you po for being active and alive this early Friday, this mid-morning Friday. Ayan. So let's now go to the first habit, no? Which is collaboration and productivity. Okay. So some of the essential workplace and school productivity apps are things that you're normally using. What are these? No, it starts with the letter G. Yan. What app or yan? Google. No, Google is one, and then another one starts with the letter M and O. What's the other tool that we're using mostly at work and in school? Yan, Microsoft Office. No? So these tools are the most used productivity tools at work and in school. No? We mostly use this for documents, PowerPoint, sheets, and slides. Okay. We also have Canva for design. So I think I expect that you know how to use Canva, no, for everyone. And of course, I think someone also mentioned about Notion and Trello. So we use Notion for personal organization. So we put there our to-do list, or right now it developed into a Notion AI that can actually integrate as well to your different tools. Also, Monday.com is a project management tool that I want to use, but it's actually very costly. Trello is for organizing tasks. Slack and Teams are for messaging as well as productivity because yeah, Jira is as well is a project management tool that is very handy as well. But one of the important things about being educated about this school and workplace productivity apps is that number one, no, using the right tool saves you time. No? It avoids duplication of work because in these particular apps, it's you can actually use this in different mobile apps or different tools like tablet, laptop, desktop, no, as long as you're connected online. And then because of this, no, choosing the right tools also means that you need to find out if these particular tools are also going to be used in other different platforms such as a laptop, tablet, or phone. And it also matters that you have a good cloud storage as well. And then number three is that this particular collaboration tools or productivity apps helps you as well to do smart collaboration. It also helps you to do real-time commenting. There's also a shared calendar so that you can be aligned with the schedule of your classmates or colleagues. So these are the three things that you need to consider when choosing what's the right productivity or school app that you can actually utilize for your own. And as mentioned, we you mentioned already some of the tools that most of you are using right now. So these are your Office, Copilot, Google Workspace, and then for presentations. Yan, we have Prezi and Gamma. So Prezi actually was developed already early siguro during my high school days. But it had a revival right now. Mas naging appealing siya right now. But Gamma is quite new. It's a Gamma AI can help you develop your presentations because sometimes, diba, it takes us time to develop our presentations because we're not inspired. Ano bang itsura niya dapat? No? But with Gamma AI, you can just put there the outline of your presentations and then it can produce to you a minimum of 10 slides that you can start off your presentation if you're having a hard time thinking about how your presentations will look like. Of course, you have Canva, ChatGPT, and Grammarly. So these are my go-to apps, no, that I actually use a lot of times right now in the office. So let's look at muna the first two, which is Google Workspace and Microsoft Office. So for Microsoft Office, of course, is we use this for Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, OneNote, and then for collaboration tools, what we use normally are your SharePoint or OneDrive, and then we have Teams for video calls, meetings, and team channels. So check natin yan. No? So some of you are already using this right now. How about for Google Suite? No? So for Google Suite, we have Docs, Sheets, Slides, Gmail, Drive, Meet and Chat, and then online. So this is in Google Workspace naman, ang downside naman nito is that you need to always be online to be able to use it, no? But in terms of usage and its cost, no, mas mura si Google Suite and it's actually free, no, for all to a certain extent. Okay? So what are the advantages of the two? So first for Office, no? Best for individual and offline and heavy duty work, no? Lalo na if you have advanced formatting, complex Excel formulas that are not hindi kaya, no, ni Google Sheets, and for design heavy presentations. For Google Workspace, one thing that actually is attractive to this is that it's actually free. And then it's best for teamwork because if you're online, you can actually go together and edit the work. But also same naman with Office. However, mas known si Google Workspace for doing this because of the access and it's free. Okay? And then it's real-time online collaboration because everyone can access the Google Suite compared to Google Office that you need to subscribe to a certain amount for you to be able to collaborate effectively in Microsoft Office. So that's for the two, no, for our productivity tools, no, in school and in the workplace. How about for Canva? So Canva over the past years have developed certain functionalities, and I'll share with you some of the highlights or the updates on the use of Canva right now. But Canva primarily started as your drag and drop design tool because it made graphic designing accessible to anyone. Okay, and some of you are heard about some of the the use cases or mga certain capabilities ng Canva wherein you can actually sell this as a product, no, for some. No? Yung mga VA dyan or those who are aspiring to create their books, you can actually put that in Canva and you can actually sell ebooks already, no, through Canva. Ayan. Can I see a heart emoticon if you're using Canva for certain uses like for school, for work right now? Ayan. Nice to hear, no? That we have a lot. And also, if you are enrolled in school, Canva actually provides free access, no, to those who are part of universities and colleges that they're partners with. So let me just share with you some of the new features of Canva right now, if you're not there familiar with them. Okay, first, so Canva provides, of course, your design basics. So you can actually design posters, flyers, social media posts, presentations, no, videos as well. No, so sometimes we edit our videos here, and also documents like resumes, reports, proposals, and certificates. And they already started their version of Excel in Canva if you have not heard about it. So you can also do your computations or formulas in Canva to a certain extent. One of the new features of Canva right now is that they already created their own AI, wherein you can actually get someone or get a function where you can actually finish your sentence. Ang galing, no? AI writing assistant for captions, posts, and outlines within Canva. And then there's also a Canva AI that helps to generate images through text prompts, just like your Copilot as well. And then they also have a AI presentation maker. Ang galing, no? Di ba? Ang dami na pwedeng gawin talaga sa Canva. And one thing siguro that I like about Canva here is that they can also do magic erase or edit. They can actually delete your background, enlarge your background, or multiply pictures or graphics that you want in your particular poster or design. And they also have yung what they call beat sync. No? So if you're into editing or videography, no, you can actually load your videos here, click that beat sync, and then it actually can tailor fit or customize the effects based on the rhythm of your music that you want to be sync with your video. Ang galing, di ba? So can you see a thumbs up? Hopefully you're also using this as well. And then one more feature that I like about Canva right now is that they already have a way to code. Ayan. So this is another thing that actually is a new innovation this year that they introduced that now we can actually create an app using Canva and put this, sabi nga nila, API in websites. Okay. With this, no, it actually democratized coding. Whereas before, kala natin ang coding will now be solely for IT. But right now, because of Canva, they develop a a feature within their website wherein you can actually create an app, based on what you actually conceptualize with. That's why it is now, I mean, Canva is really, I mean, nakikipaglaban na sa mga tech giants right now. So that's Canva for you, okay? Next naman, ito naman ang papadali if you're doing presentations. So, if tanungin ko lang kayo, how long does it take for you to create presentations right now? I know with Canva mabilis, but if you're not technically, capable to do it in Canva, how long does it take for you to do it, no? Siguro sa panahon ko, it sometimes take days to a week, no? But right now it's actually faster. But siguro I'll share with you this particular two apps that can help you. So in 30 minutes o max no? Pwede natin paikliin yan within minutes, okay? So I'll share with you some of the videos here. Ayan. So these are the two go-to apps that I actually use, for creating presentation. So one is Prezi. So Prezi, this presentation, zoom in and zoom out, is actually visually more interactive and visually appealing more than PowerPoint and Google. But Prezi develop their own AI, no? And you just feed it with your prompting or your outline, then it will create for you the presentation within minutes. No? And I did that already prior to doing this. Another one that siguro I heard this about this app. No, this is online Gamma AI. You can actually look for that in the website or in the internet. No, Gamma AI also produces AI presentations based on your outline as well. And it is web-based and shareable, and it can be downloaded to a PowerPoint presentation. It will already develop the images for you within minutes. So yung 45 minutes to 30 minutes nyo, mas mapapaikli pa yan because of these AI tools. And let me just share with you quickly what each presentation app actually does. Okay? So this is Prezi. So if everyone is able to see this. Yes, Prezi is free, but there are some features that you need to pay for. And there are some, siguro meron lang limitations when it comes to creating the whole deck. But again, if it's not a long deck naman that you're doing, no, that's already good enough. And this is only online. Another one is Gamma. So Gamma, you just feed your outline in Gamma and it will create a presentation like this. And then you have an option to do or customize further your presentation. Again, within minutes, so you don't need to wait for 30 minutes. But if you're creative, di ba, magaling. But of course, in this day and age, hindi naman lahat tayo super creative. That's why AI is there to help us out to fast track the thinking process. Ayan. So that's for Gamma. Okay. Now, let's go to the one of the last tools that I wanted to introduce on collaboration productivity, which is Grammarly. So, of course, marami tayong alam na mga grammar Nazis in our workplace, no? Sino nakakarelate dito, no? We have grammar Nazis that pag may nakitang mali sa ating grammar, they will email us, they will chat us about it. And sometimes it's quite embarrassing, no, to receive those emails. But don't worry, because Grammarly got you. Okay? With Grammarly, no, I'm actually using a free version of Grammarly, which is actually integrated in the workplace apps that I have. So just like Office and Gmail. And here, it actually helps check the spelling. It provides me writing clarity, meaning I have three privileges, no, to be able to restate my sentence. So it's free kasi, no? So that's why it helps me with that. Okay. And then tone detection, it also helps us if you are subscribed to Grammarly to change the tone of your sentence. And it can suggest also the kind of words that are needed in particular situation, as well as conduct your plagiarism checks, no, to if you are subscribed, if you are doing a thesis or a term paper. And then they also develop their own AI as well. So it helps rewrite and summarizes and expands your text. Yeah. So, but aside from Grammarly, some of the other AIs that are helping out in terms of grammar checks or summarizing is actually your Apple Intelligence and Samsung AI. So if you have those in your particular applications in your phone, maximize it, use it. Ako, I use it, no? Whenever I do a interview with candidates, I just put the outline, highlights of my interview, and Apple Intelligence summarize it for me. And then I'm able to fast track my evaluation of any candidate. No? So I hope that you also use that as well. So I'll share with you as well a short video of how Grammarly does it as well, if you're subscribed to it. Ayan. So it can help you replace the word and enhance your sentences. Sige, we'll entertain some of the questions later on, no? But thank you, Andrew, for sharing this. Okay. So I haven't done any 2,000 pages yet, but I already submitted as well, I mean, a manual to be summarized, no, by AI. But I subscribe, no, to ChatGPT Plus for this. So now we're on the second habit. So I guess, no, at least now we have a better grasp on how to be productive and how to collaborate better in this digital age. Now is the time to share with you habit number two, which is the smart digital habits. So we'll teach you here aspects on how to think critically and be safe and be responsible online. So first, let's look at digital communication and etiquette. Yan, lalo na in this digital age na madali tayo when we actually share or send our emails, andun na yun eh. Sometimes you can still recall, but in most occasions, if it's already sent out there, it's already room for many interpretations. So here are some of the tips that you can use to be able to be effective in communicating digitally. Okay. Number one, keep your emails and chat professional. So you can actually use Grammarly or Apple Intelligence to help you with that. Okay. Number two, it has to be a clear subject line. So for me, in my subject line, my formula is that there's always that call to action in my subject line. Like for example, it's for approval, for application, for inquiries, training reminder, so that when a reader sees my email, they know what to do with it. And minsan kapag may deadline ako, I always put that as well in the subject line. So that clear na kagad sa recipient ng aking email know what it is for. Keep your messages concise or probably put outline in it. One thing siguro being a recruiter as well as being an HR head is that some candidates actually just send out the email with the webinar, with the resume, pero wala naman silang cover letter. So anong gagawin ko sa resume? Are they submitting the resume just for the sake of submitting it, or what do I need to do with it? So that's a tip for you for those who are applying. Please make a concise cover letter when you are sending a resume online. Okay? Number four is avoid all caps when you are emailing because parang lalabas sa galit ka, no, in the email. Okay? And then finally, avoid emojis as soon as possible for formal communication. Know when to use it. For example, it's a group chat and then you're having fun, then emojis yung mga reaction nyo, then good. Just like what Ran and Fred asked us to do a while ago. Okay? So that's the first one, no? How to communicate responsibly. Next is how to validate information. So in a room, in an age where there's already a lot of information out there, minsan nakakalunod nga, is that number one, no? Not everything online is true. Ayan. Can I see a true in the chat box? Not everything online is true. Okay? Huwag po tayong palaging maniwala or gullible online. Masabi lang nila na totoo daw yung information, lalo na ngayon ang dami ding sellers that we don't know if it's the claim is actually true or factual. Okay? Next is that we need to cross-check sources. Again, the key to being digitalino is that you're able to cross-check, having second views or change of check perspectives by doing fact checking, in different websites. So I think some of you mentioned about Perplexity. One of the advantages about Perplexity is that it provides you the list of references. So you're able to validate whether the information that you got from Perplexity AI actually is the right or it came from a credible source. And then number four is always credit the original authors, lalo na for plagiarism, lalo na in school, no? We need to be guarded about this, that we need to acknowledge the sources of our work right now. In some cases, for example, in a university, uh, like in De La Salle University, they came out already with ethics in generative AI, wherein sinasabi nila that whenever you actually send out a work to their professor, you need to actually cite whether some of the information here were received or retrieved, no, from AI. Yun lang, kailangan nila palaging may ganun na. Because in De La Salle University, they already accepted the fact that everyone is actually using AI to work smart. Ayan. So that is very important right now to know your ethics in generative AI. And another one on cyber hygiene. Ayan. How do you protect yourself? So make strong passwords. Okay? Unique passwords at that. Alpha numeric with some characters. And then enable also yung two-factorial authentication. So hindi lang isa yung magiging way to uh, go through a certain app. Pwede rin gumamit ng Face ID plus OTP as well. Enable those so that you can actually be protected when you're accessing an application or an online app. And then finally, beware of phishing emails and random links. Ayan. So baka kasi mabiktima tayo ng pagkuha ng identity natin, no? So let's be able to be more picky whenever we are receiving any uh, sensitive links that might actually leak the information that we have to scammers, no, to cyber security threats. Yeah. So these are the three things about habit two, no, to have smart digital habits. So una-una, be have the right etiquette at that. Okay. Next would be validate information and be cautious, no? Have cyber hygiene. Ayan. So this is habit number two, no? Smart digital habits. Now, let's go to habit number three. Ito siguro pinaka-importante sa atin lahat because it's about AI. Okay? And siguro if I ask you right now, where do you use AI nowadays? Yan. Can you now put that in the chat box? Anong ginagamitan nyo ng AI today? Yan. Programming, debugging, coding, email, activities, grammar, lessons, ideas, to think critically, ayan, note-taking, capstone, thesis, yeah, English, yeah, to summarize, so for school activities, PR template, yeah, presentations, logo making as well, ayan, pitch deck, therapy, letters, preparation for quizzes and exams, and game development. Yeah, ang dami po talagang pwedeng paggamitan ng AI. But what is AI to begin with? So AI is actually short for, can you put that in the chat box? What is AI short for? AI is artificial intelligence. No? So artificial intelligence is when a computer or machine can be now designed to think, learn, and make decisions like humans, or at least mimic some of our thinking and problem solving skills. Again, this is not to replace humans, but it's an aid, no, to help us think better, to support us in cutting down the thinking process. But again, we need to actually help AI learn how we think, no, by feeding it with information on how we think. So that's when you actually create what they call agent AI or create an AI specific to your company or to your productivity needs. Yeah. So in a nutshell, no, AI can be a tool that can help us in specific tasks like recommending music, translating language, and driving a car. Ayan. So wala pa namang AI right now in the Philippines that can help us drive a car. Hopefully, yes, magkaroon na sana, no? Para hindi na tayo mahirapan at magbo-book na lang palagi tayo ng Grab, no? So if our car now can bring us to go through any destination, although pangit yung daan, no? Pero sana gamitin ni AI na idaan tayo sa tamang daan. Okay. Ayan. So now, no, what are the different use of AI? So first, AI can be your digital assistant. So use AI, to save on time, to brainstorm ideas, and to polish your communication. But, but to be digitally, we need to review and humanize the output. Okay? Again, sabi nga ni Anne, AI is just a tool, never replace the human being. Ayan. So some of the use cases or examples of AI in our everyday life, ayan, nakita niyo naman siya. In healthcare, media, self-driving car, security, manufacturing, chatbots, online, uh, not online gaming, but online banking and spam filters. So these are some of the use case. And some of the applications that we're using right now are as follows that you already mentioned about a while ago, no? We have ChatGPT, one of the most famous uh, AI tools that we're using right now. We also have Perplexity. So this is something that I recently discovered, but probably a lot of you already know about this. Then we have Gemini for Google. So yung sino po gumagamit na po ng Gemini, can you put that in the chat box? I don't use it a lot, no, but it, it does the work, no, sabi nila. Then we have Meta AI as well in Facebook. So it seems like a lot of well-known companies right now are using or creating their own AIs because that's actually the game changer right now. We also have Copilot in Microsoft, but again, there's a limited number of prompts here that you can use. Okay? But in ChatGPT, still mas reliable siya. Okay? We also have DeepSeek. Ayan, sabi nga ni Carlo. This is mostly used for those who are coding as well. Okay? Sabi nga ni, meron dito human bot. Oh. Black box is use AI like chatbot. Okay? And then of course, you have your AI, for your respective uh, mobile phones or smartphones like Samsung AI and of course, Apple Intelligence. So you need to pick the right AI that will aid you in certain platforms that you're actually using right now. So for those who are not yet well aware, no, there are actually prompting basics that you need to be equipped with, no, to be able to use effectively and efficiently this chat GPTs, no. First is that you need to be clear, on what you want. Say what you want. Okay? Number one. Number two is that you need to give context. What's it for? Hindi lang pwedeng ilagay mo lang yung gusto mo mangyari, pero what's the context behind it? Ako sometimes I actually attach a document so that ChatGPT can screen through it and use some of the information in it to develop or create what I want as an output. And then number three, you can be specific with the format. Should it be bullet points, email, or a summary, or even a presentation? So as an example of a weak prompt, write a report. Yan. That's a weak prompt. How do we improve this weak prompt? Can you put that in the chat box? How will you do it differently? Kung sabi na, write a report. But given our prompting basics, no, write a report about certain things. Kaya and make specific instructions, adding details as well. Okay. Yan. Si Julian, very timely, no? Write a report about flood control projects. Yan. Make it unique. So, a better way to do it is this, no? Summarize the top three workplace productivity trends in bullet points with an example for each. Tama dito kay Krista, na provide the topic, the format, and template, number of paragraphs, and sentences with APA 7 citations. Ayan. Yan. So marami na yata ang veterano dito na gumagamit ng ChatGPT. But again, this is a tool that you can use. Kayo pa rin ang owner, kayo pa rin ang need mag-screen ng tama. Okay. So again, some of the tools that you can use are, of course, your ChatGPT, Grammarly for editing, for designing. Of course, sabi ko na kanina is that a Canva AI also has that. Tama si Reynante also put in as well a persona, okay, to further uh, narrow down the prompt, no, to a specific audience. For example, for trainings like this, no, you can narrow the audience, no, to the prompt to a specific audience so that the chat GPT can think of a way to be able to make the specific recommendations or specific output that you need. Okay? Sabi ni Derek, no, late comment, pero during the recent years, instead of humans aiding AI, what happens is the opposite. Concerning siya. Okay? The younger gen are literally becoming so dependent with AI that it dulls their critical thinking. That's why marami pa ring adaman sa paggamit, including me. What are your thoughts about this? So, I think you're right about it. So, yung too much dependence on AI is actually, sabi nga nila, pag too much of something is actually very, very, very detrimental to us already, no? Kailangan pa rin may balance pa din. So, needs to be clear, like in our mindset, no? Productivity is gonna be used for the productivity, but kailangan pa rin pairalin ng critical thinking. What's the good and the bad? The ethics pa rin. That portion should be clear when people are using it. Okay? So that's for AI productivity. Later on, we'll answer more of the questions as we go along, in this. Then let's now go to our last habit, no? Because we're mostly are at the tail end of our presentations already. The last habit is to be able to solve problems, no, using these tools. So remember si Techie Lola, sino kaya nakakaalala po dito? Techie Lola. Naalala niyo po ba si Techie Lola? Ayan. So, thank you sa mga nakakalala pa. So, Techie Lola was the star of a particular commercial by Bayan DSL, which were also bought out by PLDT eventually. And then in this commercial, no, they advertise a Lola being technically or tech savvy enough to be able to communicate to her children in the US, no, using video conference. No? So this just shows us that we need to be tech savvy right now more than ever because there's a lot of changes happening. Some of which nga mas alam nyo pa compared to me because I only narrowed down the tools that I need. So that's something that we need to be equipped with, no? Siguro for me yung favorite AI tool ko would be the ChatGPT, no? So that's why I subscribe to it because I'm trying to train myself to program and create a chat uh, inquiry, no, for our AR team, no, for our HR team to be able to provide queries. Kasi nga, it takes us a lot of time to explain to employees, no. So, siguro papatapusin muna namin sila mag-fact check, no, to check our FAQs before they go to us. Because some of the things that a lot of our employees ask us are things that are siguro some of it common sense na eh. You can actually search for it eh. But of course, there's always that human touch that we are actually seeking for. So one example of which actually that right now bumabalik tayo sa sinaunang way of doing things is the return of Globe stores. So the new president and CEO of Globe, Carl Cruz, mentioned that they will be putting up more Globe branches. Why? Because a lot of their customers are demanding for the return of more face-to-face interactions. Because sino ba yung, di ba, when you go to a Globe store, nakakalungkot, di ba? Haba ng pila, ang tagal bago ka ma-contact. That's why sometimes ako nga, I always try to go to the mall at 10 o'clock bago magbukas. Kasi kapag may inquiry ako with Globe, it will take me almost the whole day just to be given the answer to. That's why it's good that there's that direction to return to more investments in people in Globe stores. Kasi nga, again, the human touch in the Philippine setting cannot be replaced by AI. Okay? So now let's look at some of the digital emergencies that probably you are actually experiencing as well. So some of the common digital emergencies that we're actually experiencing right now, una-una, deleted files. Ayan. Sino ba naka-experience ito? Can you put me in the chat box? Ako na-delete before eh. Na-delete before yung sinave ko sa cloud. Nakakainis. Di ko alam kung saan ko kukunin. But of course, in cloud or in Google Drive or OneDrive, there is a recycle bin that you can actually go to as well. Okay? Number two, frozen screens. So ngayon, gumagalaw ba ako sa inyo ngayon? Okay. So these are probably attributed to internet connection as well. And number three, most common for us, no, hack account, lalo ni FB. Minsan, tataka ka bakit yung kaibigan mo nag-ask about a transfer to their account. May emergency daw. But you know, this person will not do that, no? Even in other emergencies. But you have to siguro understand bakit kaya? Bakit kaya nga ba? And then finally is yung number four, slow internet. Ayan. Siguro ba this is one of the most common excuses why people actually, 'di ba, don't trust any telco company right now because it's inconsistent, hindi stable, no? That's why some of us, I'm not sure if you have the same as well, the same situation, have a second telco provider. So kung meron kang Globe, dapat meron kang secondary internet connection like a Smart, Converge, or a Dito SIM, or a Gomo SIM. So lahat na lang ng SIM, kailangan meron ka just so you can actually prevent slow internet, lalo na for those who are aiming to work from home a lot of times, di ba? Internet connection should always be there. So some of the steps to be able to troubleshoot, no, and be your digital 911 are as follows. Number one is to diagnose the issue. What is exactly wrong? So for example, in the deleted file, kaya nawawala yung file and it's online. But sinabi natin kanina, there is a online recycle bin for OneDrive or Google Drive. So we can actually go to that, refer to that, because dun muna siya dumadaan before it's permanently deleted. So that's the number one. Number two, try the basic fixes. No? Restart your device. So sabi nila, minsan kasi yung laptop natin or desktop, ang tagal nating hindi na siya kino-close or shutdown. So, it actually becomes slower. Okay? So, One of the basic fixes though is to restart the device once in a while. So in our office, we have what we call Restart Wednesdays. We're in, we actually advise our people to restart their laptops every Wednesday because not everyone is actually shutting off their laptops. So continue siya naka-open lang at nagla-log in sila. So try that as well. Or probably check your internet. Meron ba connection? Sira na naman ba si Globe, si PLDT? Or update your app. Okay? And then number three, if you have an IT expert with you, or probably, sabi nila, pwedeng YouTube University, go to YouTube to find for information about how to troubleshoot any device. For example, in even our washing machine, no, we didn't actually ask someone to visit us anymore. Kami na nag-install because we went to YouTube University. Di ba? So nakita na namin how to do it there. Because of this, no, we need to maximize the information that's available to us to cut down the time spent on inquiries and concerns. Okay? Again, let's have this particular mindset. First, no, that in any problem, there is always a solution. You agree or not? Please type agree in the chat box. Any problem will always have a solution. Kahit matagal hanapin yan, mayroon pa ring solusyon. Even our money problems, meron din pong solution dyan. Okay, eventually. Ayan. So first, don't panic. Don't panic immediately. Okay? You follow the process and learn from it. Always learn from mistakes. And there is always that available information online for every one of you. Okay? So that's the last habit, digital problem solving. And let me summarize this whole webinar for you. No? So we started off by identifying what it takes to be digitally, no? What's the mindset? No? We identified 6 pillars: being productive first, thinking critically, safe and responsibility online, collaboration and communication, and then being able to adapt in with AI and emerging tech, and as well as resiliency and problem solving. And we're able to enable this mindset through the 4 habits that I shared with you, which are as follows. Number one is to have tools that can help you maximize apps like collaboration and productivity. Number two is to develop smarter digital habits, protect yourself, no, be validate information, no, and be able to identify which app you will actually use to become more productive. Habit number three is to identify AI or AI tools that will help you become more productive. A list I already provided for everyone. And then habit number four is to think about ways on how to solve your problems digitally through the different tools that we have provided so far. So that's how you become digitally know. And I hope that you're now digi all it know right now because of the short webinar that we have provided you by Integrated OS. So if you want to still connect and learn more about how to be digitally literate, no, you can feel free to connect with me via LinkedIn or email, and hope that we can be able to serve you as well in future webinars. Maraming salamat po for everyone. And we're now opening the floor, I think in a little bit, no, our for any questions that you may have so far for us. Ayan. Maraming salamat everyone. Ayan.
Ayan, thank you, Coach Rogie, for that insightful and practical session. Dami-dami namin takeaway, kagaya ng habit of productivity. Oo,
Mhm.
go Fred.
Okay, so now let's open the floor to your questions. So drop them in the chat or raise your hand. So we'd love to hear from you.
Actually, we have one dito sa Q&A. So let
Sure.
us make it ano na lang. Let's revise it. So research papers used by AA and thesis. So I'm not sure what's the proper way to answer this. Pero ayun, ito na lang the other one. Why sometimes I put in AI, they give me a wrong answer, but I write correct what I need to ask.
Probably yun nga, we need to do the basics of prompting. So again, be clear about what you want to say and probably put some examples as well kasi that helps narrow down the specific result that you like. So ako, yun yung pinaka-tip ko talaga. You put the parang most likely the same result that you like to come up with. For example, nag-attach ako ng document or pictures that will help AI generate the right results for you. Sige.
And so we have a question here. So what are your thoughts about the unethical implications of some platforms utilizing AI? So in the writing community, many authors have been advocating against platforms like Google because it is said that when you upload your works or using it, they actually use works to train their AI. So which raises the questions of AI's integrity and
Yeah.
reliability.
Yeah, I think that there's already a lot of news articles about this, no, that it's minsan unethical na rin yung practices in AI. But it's really about you yourself, no, because we need to decide whether what we're gonna be using is gonna be able to help us in a certain problem or concern we have. Uh, just like any research paper, we need to acknowledge the source of the information. In that way, I think it will satisfy yung yearnings ng mga tao that minsan unethical na siya. Just like a policy in a known university, sabi nga nila doon, you need to there's already tools, no, how to be able to look at a work of if it's generated by AI, and then doon nila nang pupulis, no, ba't nila ginawa to. So that's why ang ginagawa ngayon is that you need to declare immediately on the onset where you got the information and the source already, so that it's clear to the professor na ginamitan mo ng AI ito, but at the same time, saan mo siya ginamit? Is it just forgetting the sources, inspiring you to create the research paper, and make sure na yung source nga is identified, lalo na yung APA style for some universities and research papers.
And another one, what are your thoughts po about image generation of artificial intelligence? When it comes to image generation, this affects privacy of a person and even has cases of stealing other people's art. Also, would like to ask your thoughts po of people using AI and selling their work in the art community such as Ghibli and the recent 3D a la Pop Mart.
All right. So this is a very, challenging situation that we have right now because sabi nga natin, AI can produce images based on our prompts, and sometimes it can be used to for the gain of the others. So siguro again depends on the person themselves, 'di ba? Na ethically, are you okay with creating such an art that you cannot claim to be yours? So babalik ka ulit sa sarili mo na uh, mako-question mo yung morals mo. Are you comfortable doing this and that? So for me, if you ask me, I'll rather create my own that I'm proud about that came from my original idea, because at I would attest and be honest na hindi siya na-impluwensyahan ng ibang artist, no? Because it's my original. So again, we always go back to ourselves in the age of digital technology, no? Ano ba yung mas importante sa atin? Ano ba yung nasa values natin? So I think yun yung nakakalimutan right now, yung ating personal values. And I think before we can start conversing about using AI in our work in our school, we always go back to the values that we've been brought up or enriched by our principals. Ganyan.
Okay. So next po, Sir Rogie, tama po bang gamitin ng AI para sa research?
Ay, tama-tama. Pwede. Kasi nga, yun naman siya ginawa, no? To shorten the time to be able to conduct research. Lalo na in the Perplexity app. So sa in one institution here in the Philippines, no, actually endorse the use of Perplexity AI because the the results are from credible sources. So that's why you are safeguarded about where this particular information came from. So I don't have anything against it as long as you're able to acknowledge the sources properly.
Okay.
Oh, for the next question. How has the hiring process changed with the emergence of AI? Has it become stricter?
Well, it actually shortened the amount of time to screen applicants. So if you're not familiar, no, in the recruitment industry, they have yung applicant tracking system.
Mhm.
With AI infused in that system, it actually narrows down the resumes to certain criteria. Meaning, if you have actually put there, ito yung hinahanap ko in an experience. So managerial, ganitong industry, they can already cut down the process of screening and provide you the resumes that will actually qualify the certain areas that you're looking for. And then number two, because of when we're interviewing candidates, no, as much as siguro the AI can understand and the candidate actually allowed the interview online to be recorded, AI can actually summarize a conversation and recommend certain actions about the candidate, whether it's going to be recommended for the next step or rather it will be pushed no to not to be recommended anymore. So yun, it shorten amount of the time and also helps us in the screening process.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, another question po, should there be a legislation here in the Philippines on how to regulate the misuse of AI, or is it unnecessary?
Sorry. Yes,
Sorry, should there
go.
be a legislation here in the Philippines on how to regulate the misuse of AI, or is it unnecessary?
I think there should be a guidance siguro coming from our legislators how to use it. Lalo na in the Philippines, kapag hindi nakasulat, 'di ba? It's really prone for many gray areas. So just a guidance would actually be useful for anyone to have when it comes to AI.
Mhm. And just a reminder for our participants, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, huh?
Mm.
Another question is, how does artificial intelligence impact decision making in industries like healthcare or finance?
Oh, okay. Uh, of course, at the end of the day, AI will actually process the information that you actually feed it. So, based on the data that you gathered, based on the business, it can actually provide you with the insights already. However, nandun pa rin yung judgment and management prerogative ng tao, whether they will follow the recommendation or not. Again, babalik pa rin tayo sa core natin. No? What for us is the best. AI can provide the logical part based on data. But again, we will need to balance this off with data and also our gut feel about certain things.
Ito na lang. Siguro, how will we avoid being dependent on AI and how do we balance using AI and using our own critical thinking?
Well, actually, ngayon ko na kasi because I'm also using AI a lot of times right now. And comparing it to reading a book. So, minsan, merong
Mhm.
hindi napapansin si AI that you can actually get from reading a book. Yung lalim, yung deepness about reading a book is not comparable to that of AI. So what I really do is really to balance things off, no, with what I get from AI and what I get from my own efforts of researching or reading a book. Saka meron ding joy na nanggaling sa'yo talaga yung idea, whereas it came from AI alone. So hopefully, no, our younger generation will also see that as well. Kasi whenever I conduct webinars or conduct workshops, I always ask yung if I conduct it for college students, do they still read the book? And some only a few actually are reading books right now, and that saddens me because I still have my own library here, no. So at least yung effort pa rin of reading the joy of finishing a book or title also still helps me generate a more fulfilling output whenever I do my work.
Mhm. Ayan. Thank you so much din sa mga nag-ask nating participants and thank you Coach Rogie again for sharing your expertise, your tips on digital literacy, whether about being online, safe online, professional branding, or responsible tech use. Our lessons we can start practicing right away. I think we've been using Canva, ChatGPT daily, if not time by time, 'di ba? Oras-oras. So actually, some of personal takeaways that I've got, learning to becoming digitalino is a habit of collab and productivity. That's what you said for the last bit. Smart digital habit, AI for productivity, and digital problem solving. And kanina nabanggit mo din po na use AI accordingly to your personal values that we've been brought up. I think it's something that matters to people nowadays.